Hey everybody, welcome back. Today's lesson in the product research course. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it so far. Now we're really just starting to, lay a good foundation for ourselves before we start digging into techniques and more advanced strategies. But I want you guys to understand the tools that we're using and understand the fundamentals before we get into the advanced stuff. So today's lesson, be going over probably the most important thing. This is a physical product business, profit margin. How do you determine it? What is it? What should it be? We're going to go over all that right now. So why don't we use our, I used to calculate this without an extension, but now you guys already have the extension. So there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to use that. So I'm going to show you two ways, the extension, and I'm going to also show you another way that is a free website you could use that's actually from Amazon. So here we go. Let's use our classic example that we've been using for the entire time so far in the course. Product I was actually thinking about selling this month. I couldn't get the differentiation I wanted to be done. It's probably still a good market, but let's go in here. So profit margin, we'll click on, I know that one's doing really well. This one's doing, 50,000 a month. We calculated in the first lesson, it was like doing 44,000. They're doing 42 now. So like I said, that's going to refresh. So how would we figure out how much we're actually making if this was our product or this is a product we were thinking about selling? You should know your margin before you start selling. It shouldn't be like a surprise, like, oh, good, I have a 50% margin. I'm glad that worked out. No, this should be before you even contact a supplier. You should know how much that you are willing to spend per unit on this product, including shipping. So let's figure this out. Why don't we go search shower foot scrubber here, and let's actually just get a quick, we'll use like a quick estimate. So just whatever that they're priced at here, we'll actually use that price and say that we're gonna get it for that. So there, that's the exact same product here. So let's split the difference and say that we can get it for $2 per unit. And I like when they have these little quick quotations. We could actually just do, okay. So looks like we could probably get it for $2 per unit, and then let's say that it costs an additional $1.50 per unit to ship. It's a pretty small product. We'll just call it $3.50. That's how much we could get this for. I think that's generous. Imagine if we could get it for $1.50 per unit, then it might even be less, but let's just use the higher quote, $3.50 to $4, and say that that's our cost per unit. Now, how much are we actually making? Because it's not just like we could do, 1988 minus 350, and then that's all profit. Okay, so there's going to be shipping, which should be part of that 350 we just mentioned. There's also going to be Amazon fees. There's going to be a referral fee, and there's also going to be a fulfillment fee. You guys, if you're lost, don't worry. I'm going to go over all those right now. So how you calculate this? First method. So you're going to use the AMZ Scout calculator. If you don't know what that is, you must have skipped over a module because we went over all the tools you're going to need. So that's one of the ones we went over. AMZ Scout FBA calculator. It's a Chrome extension. It is free. You come in here, pre-filled this, $2.50 for product. Shipping cost is going to be $1. We could even say that it's going to be $1.50, I think is what I said. And then here we go. So your profit per unit is going to be calculated for you. Now, we might not sell at 1988. I generally like to undercut their price and assume that I'm not going to be able to sell at the same price that this product is selling at right off the bat. So I actually give myself a window of security. I'm going to say I'm going to sell at $2 under them. So maybe we'll sell at $17.88 to get initial sales. I want to be profitable even with a smaller price range. And hopefully you wouldn't be selling this unless you've improved upon it, in which case your goal should be to actually price higher than them eventually. So now think about that. If we come in with a better product and it's $2 less, we should have a very easy time launching that product, but we want to still be profitable, right? So since I did that, maybe we'll say that shipping's only $1. If we're going to come in with a lower price, we'll give ourselves some wiggle room there. So check this out. Your profit per unit will be $6.31. Okay, now that's profit. That does not mean that's what you're getting paid per unit, and let's break that down for a second. Because what you're getting paid per unit is actually going to be product price minus total FBA fees, which is your fulfillment fee plus your referral fee, that will be what you actually get paid per unit. So for instance, one of my products, I sell for $24.99. I have a 60, I don't know the exact digit, 60% profit margin. So I make $15 profit per unit that I sell. Now that's profit. So when I go to my orders, what I'm actually getting paid is I'm getting paid this back in return. So every time I sell a unit, I'm making that, plus I'm getting back my $1 for shipping, and I'm getting back my $2.50 for the product. A lot of people get confused about that. If you haven't been in business for a long time, margins are a little weird. So what we just determined was that every time we sell one of these units, we're actually going to get paid from Amazon about $10 per unit, right? Because it's going to be 18 minus 8. So yeah, do the math, right? You're going to get paid $10 per unit, of which your product costs an additional $3.50. So your actual profit made out of thin air essentially is $6.31. And now let's talk about, that's profit per unit. Let's talk about net margin for a second. So that means all expenses paid. What are we actually generating in every single unit that we sell? What is our margin? So people ask that, what's your margin? 35.28. Now that's percent, guys. That's not dollars. That's not cookies. That's not apples. 35.28%. So what that means is if we're selling a $10 product, we'll move the decimal point, $3.52 would be our profit margin. So this is actually just a percentage out of, a whole of how much money you're going to make. So we could determine how much profit they're making. And we'll put this back up and we'll try and guess what theirs is. So they're actually selling at 20, close to it. Let's just put their exact number here. So I did that wrong. So just to use an example of net margin and get you comfortable with it, we'll just call that a 40% net margin flat. So they're making $8 per unit, and we'll forget that for a second. Let's just say we know that they have a 40% margin. Now how we can apply that is we could actually see what their revenue is. And then the way net margin works to figure out what that is in profit is you're actually going to multiply whatever their revenue is. So 42,563. Now you're going to multiply that times 0.40. So that would be 40%. If it was 60%, it'd be 0.60. If it was 37%, it would be 0.37. So that means out of a $42,000 revenue month, they're actually going to make $17,000 per month. That's not too bad for one product. I would love to make $17,000 per month from one product. Haven't gotten there yet. I will in the future. So that's net margin. ROI is your return on investment. Easiest way to figure this one out, if you have $1, if you spend $1, 100% ROI means that I'm going to give you $1, you're going to give me $2. That's 100% of what I just, what my investment was, I'm getting back. So 100% return on investment means whatever you put in, you're getting out equal amount. So if you put in $5, you're going to get paid $10. You put in $100, you're getting paid $200. Now a 200% ROI means I put in $10, I make $20. In this case, so for a total of $30. In this case, I'm putting in $3.50. I'm getting paid $8. So I'm going to say, hey, John, here's $3.50. And he would say, oh, Paul, here you go. Here's $8 for your $3.50. That would give me a 228% ROI as a percentage. Now, this is not correct. We established that they have, so there's our $17,000 per month in profit. There you go. That's how you calculate profit margin with the FBA calculator. It's fairly simple. Now let's go over to the next method. So we could actually grab the ASIN for the next method. If you guys don't know where it is in the URL, it's right between those two slashes. It always starts with a B. And what you could do is actually just type in FBA calculator right into Chrome. And it's going to be this first link by Seller Central. Look at the URL, make sure it says Seller Central there. So FBA revenue calculator, there's actually several of these. There's one by Jungle Scout as well, but this is the classic one that everyone uses. It's actually a tool right by Amazon. So like I said, we grab the ASIN, we're gonna drop it right in there. Now this is gonna look like a little bit older version of what we were just using. So we're gonna only use this column here, okay? So right where my mouse is, we're only using the right-hand side. You're never gonna have to use your fulfillment. You're only filling in these boxes. So item price, that means what are we selling it for? So we established that that's $19.88. We're just using this as an example. Ship to Amazon, it's gonna cost us $1. And then cost of product was gonna cost us $2.50. So now if we calculate, you can see the same exact number, same exact net margin. The only thing it's not telling us is our return on investment. You could actually calculate that yourself as well. So that's pretty much it. I don't know what I was gonna say there, but yeah, that's how you calculate profit margin. Now, when do you do this? You do this as soon as you find a potential product. So you say, it meets Paul's criteria. I figured out how I can innovate it. Now, let's say I wanted to sell this for 24 because we innovated. Let's change that to be a normal number because we're normal people. $24.99. Now I'm making close to a 50% margin, which means that if I do $10,000 in sales, $4,942 of that, just that percentage right there, is going to be profit that we just get paid. Like how if you went to work, all of that money that you earn is your profit from working. So that's profit margin, guys. You're going to use this as the second thing. You should find a product, figure out if you could innovate it, then immediately say, is there room for profit here? Because if I had to sell this product for $14.99, our profit is gone, guys. We're making, $3 per unit. We're under a 25% margin. That's not worth it in my eyes. Imagine if it was as low as 12, we'd actually almost lose money. 16% margin. So here's a rule of thumb, and if you could take anything away from this, it'll be what I'm about to say right now. Don't sell a product that has less than a 30% net margin. So we're talking about out of $100, you're gonna earn $30. Net margin, aim for 30 and up. If you get 50%, that's awesome. It's a great profit margin. 40 is great. You get it all the way up to the 60s, you really did something well. That probably means your branding and your front picture is working great. You're able to get that product for, a good quality product for a low price and then sell it high enough to get a 60% margin. That's awesome. Takeaway, don't let your profit margin be under 30%. This was how to calculate profit margin. I'll see you in the next lesson.